archaeologists. I'm the Johnstruct. Welcome to the proximity. I'm having a Talos principal adventure. Let's solve some puzzles, shall we? I'll use this controller here that I own. That'll help me play computer games. So I'm a little distracted because my allergies decided to kick in just as I decided to start a stream. I love that. That's my favorite thing. Yeah. Oh yes, we're in a new place. So it's actually been a few days. I just got distracted by going back to an old game. What is scanning? Alcatraz. I've forgotten the gimmick and everything. What is the button that makes him go faster? Is there one? There is. Puzzle 1. The first puzzle. Oh yeah, batteries. You accumulate. Go. Didn't mean to do it quite so fast, but whatever. He's accumulated. He's doing grand. Why did you not accumulate? How did I fail the easiest puzzle? No, it's really obvious actually. Does it ever run out? You accumulate. Oh. Yes, of course. Never mind that shit. Discharge! Thank you. Discharge! Do that. Lovely.
In the beginning, before we built New Jerusalem, we used to explore just like this. Small groups setting out for the horizon, looking for resources, trying to make sense of the world we'd been thrust into, trying to find a way forward. It was a hard time, but I can't deny that it was also exciting. It's part of our nature to be wanderers. Our ancestors crossed entire oceans on flimsy wooden boats just to see what else there was.
Is it weird to feel nostalgic for a time I never experienced? I just think I could have contributed so much more back then.
It's not weird, but it wasn't all sunshine. People died. Yemo, Calvin, Isaac.
I know, Al. They were family to me.
Sorry. It didn't mean to reopen old wounds.
It's a legitimate point, but I don't think it invalidates the sense of wonder we felt. That's what kept us going.
Right. We have a blue. Okay. How do we get the blue and the red? Sorry, I didn't mean to... Let me take this. I can sense an issue, which is that. Okay, what about this? Don't know why I did that. So green and red. Is this not the same issue as before? No, it's not. There we go. Oh, it's going to get very confusing with all these colours. I'm really grumpy that my allergies kicked in as soon as I started streaming. Proposal: bring back dogs. Yes. Not the part. Probably shouldn't bring back bugs. No, I want. Talos says, "Oh, we should redomesticate dogs. Our ancestors loved dogs so much, they insisted they were amazing companions full of life and love. Man's best friend, and the lives they lived, humans must have been infinitely better than in the wild. Want to bring them back? Did you know the poet Lord Byron wrote a beautiful poem about his dog, Boatswain? He said, beauty without vanity, strength without insolence, courage without ferocity, and all the virtues of man without his vices. Is that who our Byron named himself after? No, he named himself after Robert Byron, the travel writer. That's great. What about my idea?" I bring them back except pugs. Ability to breathe does seem important for a feature in an animal. Isn't that the perfect demonstration how perverse it is to manipulate nature like that? Yeah, that's why we can't... we can choose not to do it badly. It's not like pugs are the only possible outcome. We have choices. I would love to have a dog. We would go on walks together. It would be excited about every new smell. We could play fetch. It sounds magical to me. It's found on the Sphinx Monument in Flooded Valley. Reference photo in case I want to figure this out later. Thank you. Breathe, John. The total Melville, that one. Oh, hang on. I want to turn the radar off. Crossing. We have a jammer, big bad mama jammer. I can jam that if I want. With this, if I want to fling myself haphazardly over there. With this, I want to flip myself haphazardly over there. With this ball. Curious. I've not spoken in a while. Don't turn fucking back. Okay, how do I get that? Donk. Okay, it's also going to make me not feel great. Can I turn the fan off? I can. Nice. Let's jam that. And there's our box. Put it there. Now let's jam that. Now let's jam this. Lovely. Feeling a little better now.
There's so much history here that we can't see. The founder must have walked these paths hundreds of times, maybe thousands. Miranda must have stood right where we're standing. This all looks alien to us, but it must have been familiar to them.
If this was their home, where are they now?
They must be inside the megastructure, waiting for us to pass the test. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Can you convince one robot to do a bunch of puzzles? Laser. Wibbly-woo, the connector. Oh, cool stuff in there that we want. Ah, wibbly-woo. Time for you to shine. Red laser go where? I know where blue laser goes, but blue laser is quite far away from that. Red laser go there, okay. Both of these sound difficult to achieve. In fact, I can tie both of them up. Okay, that's what I'm missing. Thank you. Well, the only thing you can accumulate is blue. That's not true. Where's my red? Where is my red? Where do we want red to go? John. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Where's the end? Where's the end I'm looking for? Am I being done? I cannot actually see where the end is. There it is. No, it's not. There it is. Oh, my brain's not doing anything for this one. I'm a little bit worried my brain isn't working. Might want to regroup and try something else. It's sort of weird. Don't like it when my brain does that. Put a lot of effort into getting this accumulator out. I appreciate you could do something, I guess, with it. If you wanted to do that. Now I lost the accumulator. I'm gonna try the next puzzle. Sometimes I'm just not like with it, and I need to learn to just play sometime else if that's the case. Here's 5 though. Balancer of forces. Right, I think I'm going to do that. I think this has been a bit of a weird stream. My head's clearly not into it. So I'm going to do a cut. Hopefully I improve. Going back to 4. This might require a weekend brain. Here we go. Time has passed. Several days, in fact. I believe I'm not brain broken right now. I might still be bad at puzzles. That's fine. There's a difference between me not just getting a puzzle and me going, oh, my brain's just straight up not working today. So hopefully this will be a more enjoyable watch as well, because I suspect it's not fun to watch when I'm just like, oh, my brain. Either way, let's re-examine Wellspring. We have a red laser here, obviously in a little tunnel, which requires us to have a corner piece at least here. But here is about the most I believe we did try something along those lines. Is this really where we were? So both red and blue are accessible from a weird angle. Let's do blue for the time being. We have this over here, which is my word. Yeah, so brain broken I might have been. It doesn't mean I forgot everything. But I have no idea how to make use of this. It can store a thing. I get that. Well, let's store the red. Then we can cast it at a better angle. No reason to store the blue, is there? Cool. Now... blue... need a red there. That's a pretty awkward angle to get a red at. But... how do I get this? Where is it? Oh, I've got it. It's there. Okay, what angle would I need to be at? I'd need to be here. Oh, this is doable. In fact, I can do it from here. There we go. This is what you get when brain's not broken. I can play computer games again. We're not 100% done, I get that, but like... Okay, is there a place that I can do both? No, because the hard bit is doing that. Oh, I forgot about this one. That's not a fence you can shoot through. My one complaint is that these fences should be glass walls or something. Something that indicates better that I can't shoot through it. Like, I don't know what it would be. I get why they chose it. But, like, I always think I should be able to shoot through that. Like, a laser can blatantly get through that. Like, there's levels where I didn't realise I could shoot through these because I just went, oh yeah, bars. Bars means no lasers. But no, some bars mean no lasers, some bars mean lasers. The white bars. And, you know, I get the difference now. But... I like to do a lot of this instinctively, you know, where you run around and you like your subconscious go, yeah, grab that, do that. That's why I do a lot of it without talking, because I'm just letting my brain do things. We don't need to engage front brain all the time. And sometimes it's like placement, it's pretty obvious. Like, there's a reason why this little alcove exists over here. Cool. Obviously, bomb. So this is clearly very important for what we're trying to do. I believe you can also shoot lasers through this. Okay, what do we know about the... One thing I'm trying to do better is explain what I'm doing. Okay, so the task I need to figure out is what can even hit this? So, where can this be seen? This window here or this window here. Okay, cool, that's cool, that's pretty easy. We have this in the back. This needs to be keep connections. Cool. Beautiful. Also, yeah, a lot less time is wasted when my brain is working. Lovely. So this has been out long enough for reviews to come in. People saying they're sort of shorter puzzles than Gehenna. It's like when the last game, when they escalated it in difficulty, they just got longer and more convoluted, whereas this is a little bit more elegant with its difficulty, but people aren't as happy with the stars, and I can't quite remember the stars. Maybe I just didn't engage with the stars. I think I did, actually. Alcatraz. What's that? The balances of forces. Fumph. Oh, another fumph. We have a blue laser there. We have door and door. We have oh, that's what I'm trying to do. Blue laser. Blue laser. Cool. Why does this tree exist? This is kind of interesting. Well, it's easy. You just put a laser to there and you've won the game. And we can always get it back by doing this. Most importantly, yeah, that's why I play with things as well, because I could go, yes, yeah, well, if I want to get something, I have to do this, but it's much quicker to just test things. That way, you can just solve problems by just seeing the solutions. You just go, oh yeah, it's that, grab that, let's do this. Okay, so I don't know. There we go. Well, that's interesting. What does that do? Oh, it turns the thing on. So I did not mean to lose the connections. That's the puzzle solved, I believe. Excellent. Let's go to 6. I always, whenever I like, especially if I have to cut a video in half like that, I'm always worried that I'm just never going to be able to solve the next one. I like to think I'm quite good at puzzles, but there was always a little bit of me that I just scared to go back to previous attempts. We have an accumulator. We have a drillable wall. We have this green laser with some holes in the wall just to be like, hey, holes in the wall. We have this over here, which I can access using the only object available to me. And force field. Won't worry about the force field just yet. We have blue laser thing like that. Oh, let's let it accumulate. Then we can put it into there. Grab this RGB converter. We'll put that out there because I'm clearly going to need it for that sort of reason. But before that, why do we have a circle? That's interesting. We have a driller. Killer driller. Seems like the most obvious choice. It's not needed around here just yet. We have ourselves another connector. We're going to need both colours apparently. Not a green, but the RGB will be good for that. So we now have lots of things. You know what? I want the driller. I don't know why I want the driller, but there's this drillable surface. Oh, hang on. It'll let me get that. Okay. Don't need an RGB for a while. Okay, if we can go around there, we don't need those pathways anyway. So let's accumulate the green. Where's my accumulator? Cool. I don't think we need this anymore. It's not going to be the permanent doorstop for there. So we now have lots of things over here. Is it enough? Have I forgotten something? No, I don't think I have. All I need is green and blue. So blue is going to both. Well, blue's going to that and that. Lovely. This is going to that. And I can see a slight issue. I do have a box. Let's keep connections. Put it over here. Cool. Now we can RGB. Awesome. Lovely. Beautiful. It's always nice when a plan comes together. Yeah, seeing this, I should give up much sooner if my brain isn't working. And I'll keep saying it. That's neat. But,
Aldo,
What is it now?
why did you upload a picture of your hand?
Why do you care that my hand is in the picture?
Your hand isn't in the picture, it is the picture.
I like it. It's very artistic.
Let's stay professional, everyone.
yeah, don't patronize
It's not
Melville.
right to make fun of Melville's comically absurd inability to take decent pictures. She's a hyper-advanced humanoid machine, not a photographer.
You'll pay for this, Byron.
Look at that warm orange glow! It's the most expensive PC game. Cost me £400. This one? I do see a person there, but I'll... Not Penny's boat! Okay, I got that out of my system. Who are you? Oh, it's Byron.
This is where they must have lived. Athena and Miranda. You know, for a moment, I almost expected to find them here. But the only thing that's still functional is the megastructure. I'm sorry. This must be awfully strange for you being thrown into all this history. But that's why I needed you. Because you're not burdened with all these memories and conflicts and regrets. Weigh on our minds like a nightmare.
So I like that they put someone in the room, so I went, oh, is this an ancient person? And he's having the same thoughts. Like, they set me up for that. That's cool. A nightmare?
Our civilization is caught in a loop, 1K. We
not a
freed
loop.
ourselves from the simulation, but now we're trapped again, and it's our own fault. We're afraid of taking responsibility, afraid of growing up. Instead, we make up some capitalized words and build up all these myths around them. Nature, balance, the founder, the goal. We're afraid to face the randomness of the cosmos, but equally afraid to imagine a better world. So we're stuck. I've been trying to find a way out for years. Something, anything, to get people to understand that we do actually have free will. That building a thriving, expanding civilization doesn't have to involve repeating the mistakes of the past. But I failed. Over and over.
And you think that what we've discovered here could change things?
Yes. Because this is something unexpected, an anomaly. Everything we found on this island challenges who we have become. It shows us that different answers are possible. And maybe that can break people out of the loop.
Not a loop.
All we need is a spark. Maybe that's why she made all this. The puzzles, the towers. A way of jolting us out of our complacency.
I hope so.
Thank you, 1K. I hope so too. We might be wrong, but let's be optimistic. Now, let's see what else we can find here.
Interesting. So I like the word spark as a metaphorical word, right? We all know what it means. But there's such a thing as a pre-spark, a pre-ignition. As we all know, even like obviously to get fire, spark is not the only thing you need, right? It's one of the ingredients, but like even a spark has conditions that must be met.
Melville, eyes on 1K's stream. Is this thing what I think it is?
Simulation.
Oh, my fuse box. It sure looks that way. Best not touch it until I get there.
You won't get here in time. My curiosity is too great.
You have no idea what you're dealing with, 1K.
I take your point, but I'd still like to make a guess.
Tell me then.
I guess it's some kind of... psychedelic simulator?
That's actually pretty close. I think it's a somnodrome. It's a sort of analytics tool for processing mental data that Melampus streamed up.
But all he ever did was sketch out the theory. As far as I'm aware, he never actually built one.
Looks like the founder gave it a go.
Can you explain it like I was born yesterday? That's very funny. I would be... I'm surprised that 1K's only just got around to be like, oh guys, I was born I was born yesterday. I wasn't born... Oh, I was born yesterday.
Well, what we know is that our deeper algorithms are hard to pass. Melampus stipulated that the computational power to interpret them in real time would always be beyond us. But in theory, the somnodrome would interpret that data and loop it directly to our senses.
People were hoping to find answers to the big questions by having a conversation with our own subconscious. If you ask me, it's solipsistic at best, and pseudoscience regardless.
That may be. But if the founder figured it out, then that device could be an extremely important discovery.
Right, so obviously for this game to even work, electrical engineering science, let's say, has to have improved to a point where we can build functional brains, right? And brains are absurdly complex. To the point that thinking as brains as machinery is a bit of a trap. It is, especially the subconscious as well. Like, I know it's popular to use the word algorithm in that way, and that like you'd probably, but we're not. That's not how we work. Like, how to put it? Because like, again, obviously, I have very limited knowledge in brain science, to the point that I can't remember the word for brain science. But like, I think people commonly know what synapses are, right? That brains have a series of connection points, and whenever you see like an apple, like you go apple, that's what an apple looks like. I can identify an apple firing and you can cut them, and it has to take a different course, because not only is it an apple, is I associate apple with Adam and Eve, I associate apple with taste. Like, there's connections, I can grab themes, it's clusters, right? And again, you can sort of see why algorithm would be the go-to like metaphor here. But the thing is, just the firing of synapses is actually quite complex. It's not a case of information being passed between nodes. It's so much more complicated, because what is the firing of a synapse? It's like, oh yeah, it's just an electrical signal going between two things. What is that? Like, deeper down, what is that? Because it is not the same as a computer doing computery stuff, of which I have limited knowledge of, like how fucking CPU or GPU works. It's just like an intelligent box with lots of zeros and ones, you know what I mean? But like, my point is, it is not a firing of a node to a node. Like, it is not that binary and simple. A synapse is chemicals, and the decision to fire it like is so. I'm getting all of this, by the way. Where are you claiming this from? From a series of videos I always recommend, to the point that I should just have a button that tells me so I can recommend it on stream. And it's a scientist. His actual field is behavioral, studying animal behavior, which has a name which I forget. But like the whole lecture, which you can find on YouTube, is really great. He starts off by saying like single disciplines can be a little bit dangerous because you can hyperfocus. So if you hyperfocus on, say, evolution, like Darwinism, like that's similar to where you get the mistakes of like what Nazis tried to do with the Übermensch and stuff like that. I forget what that's called. And people, like, it's very obvious to say that Nazi stuff bad, but people occasionally like talk about like, oh yeah, no, you just let only the intelligent people breed, and you're like, oh no, that's not just ethically bad, that's scientifically unsound for reasons we've known for fucking ages. That's just, no. You need diversity to it was a really bad idea to keep trying to do that, because you just get dumb people, you get inbreeding, and that's it's all kinds of terrible. And like hyper focusing on things like intelligence is failing to grasp several things about how humans work. So and he says about like trepanning, is that trepanning? Like cutting holes into people, and obviously putting big nails into people's heads to try and fix them. Like all these single discipline things could have been hopefully averted by just understanding more of the like surrounding sciences. And so each of the lectures are just a different discipline, and it's really interesting. But the ones about fucking brain science and synapses and stuff is so much more difficult to comprehend than all the others. Like, I cannot overstate just how difficult neuroscience, there, I remembered the word, neuroscience is compared to fucking evolution and psychology. It's just like, Jesus. And it's just like, and yeah, he says, like, I look at a lot of these courses require you to like get, like at the start, it's just like, how many people are already like studying sciences? How many of you are just like reporters? And it's just like, oh, you're gonna have difficult times, but you can do it. You just have to pre-learn certain things. And obviously the YouTube courses don't have the pre-learning stuff, so it's just like, just fucking, now you're in neuroscience. My point is, thinking of the human brain as a machine, even an incredibly complex machine, is a disservice to how complicated the brain is. But obviously they've solved it in this. But the fact they use the word algorithm it means we're still firmly in pop science. Like, I know the power of algorithms, but also at its very core, an algorithm, all it is, like, you've seen it, right? You've probably seen the pictures where it's like a bunch of nodes, and it's like it's just choices. It's like, oh, this choice, this choice, this choice, and yeah, you can pile a billion of those on top of each other. But that's how a computer works, because a computer has to make a binary choice. And do humans have to do binary choices? I don't know. Maybe the answer is obviously yes. I just don't know. Like, I wasn't trying to sound profound there. I don't know if that's an obvious. I'll tell you what. Just because I'm that pretentious, I'm very tempted to just see if I can look it up. No one's watching me live at the moment. You know what? It's been a split second and I've changed my mind. I can't be bothered to Google that because I don't know how I'd frame it in such a way to get a useful answer. We should study it. We should try it.
I would advise against it. You may have survived all those data stream overloads, but interface with that thing and you're liable to get bricked. Not to mention risking the data we could get from it.
Bricked is a very horrific term considering they're all robots. Fine. Let's get the data instead.
Sounds like a plan. Melville, I'm shutting this thing down until you can get here. 1K, get on with exploring the rest of the lab.
Sonodrome prototype. I found Melampus believed, the Fluffaluffagus believed that the answers we're looking for the correct way for the individual to exist ethically in society, in the world, and within us. A failure to him was not failing to create a better system, but failing to truthfully reflect what already exists within our minds, a failure of connection between the high and the low, the inner and the outer. On most days, that seems wrong to me, but sometimes when I think of where New Jerusalem is headed, I wonder if Sonodrome doesn't hold the answer at all. I took some time to build the prototype according to the original blueprints, and there were a lot Melampus didn't account for. Still, I'm almost certain I could apply some of my own knowledge and make it work. The question is, should I? So I have my own completely irrational theory based on vibes, which is you might be able to sort of puzzle games specifically, because I'm interested in puzzle games. If you play enough puzzle games, you will see the same puzzle in more than one game. There was one puzzle which I would call the ABA puzzle, and I think I might have said at the start of the game, right, where you are presented with, let's say, a door and a button next to the door, and also there's a button way over there, just at the other side of the room. What do? Well, you played more than one puzzle. You can try out that button if you like, and oh no, the door doesn't work. The answer is to use that button over there, which turns that button on, then you can go for the door. It's ABA, right? You will see that puzzle in variation in like basically every single puzzle game. It's the introductory puzzle to everyone, and you know how to solve it, because like it wouldn't be a puzzle if you just had to press a button to do. That's just a door opening button, right? So, and my vibes theory is that you could probably break down all puzzles like that, and you could probably come up with like a universal way of writing puzzles. Rock is there. Rock is now there. From Folker. Beloved founder, wherever you have gone, I've continued to have faith in those big numbers. You are our mother, our creator, the chosen of the progenitor. I am certain that this is a test, a trial like the ones you faced in the simulation. We will learn from your example and keep the faith. There was no error in trial 108. The error is our understanding. We have to start over. From Miranda to Athena, I went ahead and ran the next set of trials anyway. I know you said to wait, but the data we got from the last batch was just too amazing. Every step leads to the next. The progression of musical notes was so close, Miranda. Hello, dog.
The singularity sustained itself longer this time.
Did we get the data?
We did. I think we just obsoleted quantum physics.
Maybe. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to be able to replicate these results.
You know, I've been wondering. You told me that in the simulation, one thing that kept you motivated was looking for answers.
Just what are midichlorians?
Do you think that with the work we're doing, we'll ever run out of questions to ask?
I don't think so. Trying to understand the universe means asking the same question over and over. How? How do you make fire? How do earthquakes happen? How does gravity work? How do particles behave? You keep digging deeper, finding another set of mechanisms, another set of hows. Step by step, you demystify reality. But then, if you keep doing it long enough, one day, you run out. You've answered all the hows. You know how the universe works. So, now what?
Now you ask why? Isn't that the next step?
It's not quite that easy. The question of why cannot be answered. Even if it could, it would only be followed by another why. At some point, you have to accept that it all just exists. But there is another set of questions. What's next? You've stripped away the layers of mystery, you've laid bare the machinery. Now you have to start building, to add your own layers of meaning.
Is that my phone, which is not close enough?
okay? You overloaded again.
I'm fine. I saw Athena again. Iron Man.
Yes, I saw. It came through on your stream. Strange to hear her voice again. But that was her. The way I remember her. The real Athena. Not this imaginary founder.
Tell me more about her.
I was one of the first she woke up. There was just a handful of us in those days. A small family in the ruins of a dead civilization. It was hard. Harder than anyone can possibly imagine. We had nothing except what Alexandra Drennan and the Institute left us. Now that everyone lives in civilization, they don't understand how necessary it was for us to build that civilization. They can fantasize about living in balance, limiting growth, retreating behind our walls. They don't understand what it really means to live in the wilderness. How close we came to not making it. How many people we lost. Yema was just the first. But Athena understood. She believed in humanity. She believed in us. In the inherent value of consciousness. Her dreams were so much bigger. She wanted us to reclaim the earth, to reach for the stars, to build and grow and learn.
Why isn't she remembered that way?
The city was already changing before she left, turning inwards, forgetting the future. Once she was gone, other people shaped her memory, turned her into the symbol they needed. I understand all that, as depressing as it may be. What I don't understand is why she didn't tell me. If she came here to do all this, why didn't she bring me along?
I'm sorry, it must have been hard for you to lose your mentor. Answering that question seems really rude.
It was. But maybe I was wrong. And she isn't as lost as I thought she was. If this is all the test, maybe the answer is waiting for us in the megastructure.
The megastructure.
Speaking of which, let's get back to exploring. Melville should have reconnected the next station by now.
Are we going to be teleporting objects? Like the boxes and the scanners? Because that seems like a puzzle building element right there. Well, the game did not like me attempting to run through the window. I did that ready. Oh yeah, that's the reason why I did that. My brothers are having a conversation about Sonic the Hedgehog, which I've not played the newest game. They're both older than me, so they played more Sonic than I did. Did I miss something? Oh, it's a circle. So no, I didn't miss anything. Melville, let me use the special machine. Fuck? This wasn't here a second ago. How did I miss this room? I remember this. Whatever. Cool.
Is it possible that on some level, people want to believe that everything's going to get worse? That it's comforting to think that humanity is bad and every solution will just go wrong. Because that way you're never responsible. You never have to take on responsibility for anything outside yourself. Never have to grow up.
Did this already.
Is it possible that on some level, people want to believe that everything's going to get worse?
I don't know which one I've
That
not
it's
done.
comforting to think that humanity is bad?
Melampus, one of the Lupia first companions, dreamt up a somnodrome back in the day. It was supposed to help us visualize the black box that is our own internal algorithms, and so provide some kind of moral or spiritual insight. It was never properly worked. Of course, apparently the founder took interest in and experimented further with the technology, corrected some of the mistakes Melampus made. Tweet. Okay, no. To all of you on this expedition, I'm sure you have questions about the Somnodrome. I'm afraid I can't answer them. It was a dream I had a long time ago. Oh, he's still about. When I was a different person, it was long since faded. I did build a prototype of sorts, but at least one part of the systems, but none of it's ever functioned the way I'd wanted to. Whatever Athena may have done with my invention, the truth is I'm simply not interested in the affairs of Jerusalem anymore. I care as little for Byron's utopianism as I do for Herman's Village's pessimism. No more sure I care about anything anymore. Just depressed. I'm just a depressed robot. In fact, I think not caring may be the only answer. At the end of the day, everything's transient. Even myself, I've learned to let go. Please do not respond. I value my privacy. Aww.